start now.
Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. We're in this. Biatch. What's up, man? It is 11 a.m. on the dot, kids. Welcome to the Big Brown Super Chat. And then tomorrow on the same channel, we will be doing the Big Brown Showdown live for UFC 329. Conor McGregor is back, kids. We got the chat popping. What's going on? Slow fit, one more sleep. I know, dude. One more mother trucking sleep. One more. That press conference last night was lit. So ready for the ceremonial weigh-ins tonight. It's fight day. Man, I'm here but not here because the weigh-in show is going down. I know, Drew. I'm with you. Real Ice Out. What up, man? Drew, Max, Conor fighting in the first weigh-in. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, Conor's coming in hot. I posted on my Instagram story and then on my TikTok a picture of Conor in his heyday, the weigh-ins, the sold-out crowd, and then now. What happened? Remember the media told us he's not a draw anymore? People don't travel for Conor anymore? Weird. It's also the biggest gate in UFC history. Weird. It's like the media has an agenda or something. Isn't it strange? So strange. Seems like he's killing it. Seems like he's absolutely killing it. Compared to Ronda, those tickets were $59. And she wasn't out as long as Conor. We're talking superstars. They are not the same. They are not the same. Stevie G. Rodriguez, I chose this live over the weigh-in. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to have to watch the weigh-in after this. Conor seems ready to go, my man. Does anybody feel like Conor is going to implement a lot more grappling compared to his, more recent time he was in the Octagon? If you remember him and Max when they first fought, a lot of grappling by Conor. A lot. Scoop, what up, my man? Scoop says, Max, first to scale, 170. Can you imagine if Conor misses weight? Drew says, Conor was the best yesterday, singing Wonderwall. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Real Ice Out says, hey, brother, hope all is well. Been praying for your little girl. Dude, my girl started crying at the doctor because there's been this one doctor who's pretty positive. All the other ones have been super negative. And he was like, oh, I don't need to see her for another year. They're going to move her leg braces down to her ankles. He's like, I bet you by this time next year, she's going to be sprinting. And he goes, I bet she's going to be your fastest kid. I went, have you seen my Bosty? But I hope you're right. The Gamma Girl, don't say that. I know. He's not going to miss. Omar, watching the weigh-ins live doesn't do it for me, man. We're live here, and I'm here for it. You got to just take it all in. Whether you watch this later, whether you watch the weigh-ins later, just take it all in, man. Slowfit, love that there was no hostility between Conor and Paddy. All respect between them. Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Paddy's a huge draw as well, so I could see them. I think for Paddy, regardless, I think him versus Ilya is next. Ryan Byting, what do you think Conor will weigh Saturday night, like night of the fights? 170. I bet he's around 190-ish something. Adam, got the day off today. Let's go, boys. King Quincy, does Buffer say the one and only? He better. He better. Omar, love the shirt. Thanks. Nina Drama got me this at UFC Noches. She sent me this. She knows I love jerseys. She's the best. Mr. Offensive Streams. I watched all your shows from TFATK to the Golden Hour. Always followed you and glad to be able to support you directly. Thanks, brother. Real Ice Out. Thank you, brother. Big Rich, Max looks super relaxed and too happy at the conference. He might be taking Conor lightly. No, I just think it's another day in the office for Max. You know, he's been in big fights before. This is the red penny night. Like, he's hit the lottery, you know? And for Max, it's not like he's going to change anything. Max can be Max. He's pretty damn tough to beat. So, Max is the perfect opponent because he gets it. He's not going to get emotional by what Conor does. He's a vet, you know. He's the perfect opponent. The after show, but later says, I almost had to pick my wife up from the airport tomorrow night, but baby Jesus was looking out for me and her flight got changed till today. Yep. Russell, do you think that Holloway's gas tank could be an issue with the added weight? I know he's usually good for all 5 rounds. You think Conor tries for a few takedowns? 1,000% on takedowns from Conor. Yes. Now, even if Max Holloway's gas tank's not as good as he was at 55, it's still going to be better than Conor's. Don't get it twisted. But I think the speed, the volume, I think it's going to be taken down a level. BB Greg says, working all day, just stopped by to say Conor by KO. Adrian, any take on the shots Conor was throwing at Ian the Machado fella, as they say in Brazil? Yeah, he's Irish, and the dude changed his name to fucking Portuguese, so I'd be upset too. It's like an American changing their name to like a Middle Eastern name or a Muslim name. You'd be like, Exalted Born says, B, do you think Conor's real issue is that he abandoned the wide karate stance and became too boxing heavy against max volume? Isn't that more important than ring rust? Yeah, his stance, and it happened to Andrei Arlovsky. It happens to a lot of guys who focus solely on boxing. Their stance can get a little narrow, and that also makes Conor less dynamic. But according to his coach Kavanaugh, he's like, we've been working on the stance. We see the comments. We're on it. So let's see what we get. Mr. Offensive Stream says, honestly thought Conor was looking too lax, and it seems like it may just be a payday for him. No. I think Max takes in the distance and wins. Conor fights another legend finish career. Maybe, but I don't. That's not my take. Being relaxed doesn't mean you're not taking it serious. They're veterans. And Conor looked pretty amped up to be there. Slowfit says, do you think Prates would have been a tougher opponent stylistically for Conor? Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. That'd be a really, really tough one. White Slurp, can you explain why Conor's going to try and shoot takedowns? I don't disagree. I find it interesting. Because if you look at Max Holloway's last fight against Charles Oliveira, that the media, the UFC, everyone wants to forget about, and discipline Charles Oliveira because it's for the BMF title. There's huge gaping red flags if you're a Max Holloway coach or you're Max Holloway. And you can be like, well, he just didn't train for it. Sure. But when you're that much of a veteran, you have got to adapt to your opponent, and he never adapt. So clearly takedown defense is the Achilles heel of Max Holloway. Now that doesn't mean Conor's going to finish him. His takedown or his submission defense is really good, but if I'm Conor, bigger, stronger, I'm going to be the stronger guy. I'm going to impose my will. It's going to start with those takedowns. Why go toe-to-toe for Max in the volume punching and the cardio game? Implement takedowns, win the rounds. Jeffrey, what up, B? What up, man? Curtis, a little late, but I'm up in this bitch. Ripping out moldy cabinets and drywall, listening to the best MMA show in the world. Thanks, B. I don't know if it's the best, but we're trying. Ripping out moldy cabinets and drywall. That's a lot of work, man. I'm doing some work on my house, and it is a beast. When I say I'm doing work, is I hired some guys with the stuff I can't do. And the stuff I can do, it's just a beast, man. It's like when you want to work on your car yourself. You can do it. It's going to take you about 3 days. And a pro takes about an hour. Mile High, you better be from Denver, brother. Finally a member. Let's go. Eduardo says, Paddy just weighed in. Let us know. Keep me posted. Any drama. If they give Conor the mic. Stevie G says, I think grappling will do more harm than good. I don't want Conor to be too tired. His best chance is KO and grappling will be force blood to his arms and legs. Not if he's been training it. Not if you've been working on it. Especially for 5 years. Scoop says, we need Conor on here. Nelk Boys just had him on for 10 minutes for no reason. Have Brian call his billionaire friends to get in contact. Ryan Biting. People that think it's a payday for Conor is wild. Yeah. It's far from that. Nate Dogg says, Schaub, did you see Protect Your Neck yesterday? I did not. I try not to listen to too much MMA takes because it will filter in and kind of sway my opinion. But no, I did not. Unless it's like a real deep dive on like a breakdown. But if it's just general opinions, I might listen to it after. I love those boys. They're great. And obviously I love Joe, but no. Drew says, bro, I love Protect Your Neck. I wish Big B would be on there. Dude, I'm in. I love those guys. I like to, because I like people with other opinions. I like to go back and forth. And those guys are super knowledgeable. More knowledgeable than me, so it'll be fun.
Matt loves you, too. He talks about you on the show.
Matt Serra does?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I love Matt. Adam Smitty, what up, B? Feel like I'm getting sucked in thinking Conor's going to pull this off, but then I stop and think in reality Max is a freaking problem. I hope he pulls it off. Again, I'm with you, dude. I've never rooted so hard for someone to win just because I like seeing greatness and rare achievements. We just don't know. We don't know what Conor has been doing for the last 5 years. We don't know what condition he's going to come in. There's a lot of just unanswered questions. But Conor's a special, special dude, man. And I think if anyone's going to pull it off, it's going to be him. Emilio, welcome to the club, big dog. Adam says, do we see Robert Whittaker back in the main cards if he wins tomorrow? 1,000%. He shouldn't be on the prelims for this. Again, that might be a Paramount subscription thing, but yeah, he wins this. He's already a big name, former middleweight champion of the world. Light heavyweight so thin. Yeah, 100%. We'll never see him on the prelims again. Stevie G, I want Conor to win so bad and go for the Triple Crown. Who does he have the best chance to win the 170-pound title against? Ian Machado Gary? Ian and Makhachev are tough matchups. Let's climb that mountain when we get there. Christian says, after watching the press conference last night, I'm a bit more confident that Conor has a legit chance at upsetting Max. Am I crazy for thinking this? He seems to have gotten to Max a bit. I don't know if he's gotten to Max. It'd be hard to get to Max. But you should feel confident. He's saying all the right things. He looks healthy. That's all we can hope for. That's it. Anyone who says they have an idea what they're going to see tomorrow night, they don't. Slowfit says, can't see Conor grappling, though. Just dismiss his cardio even more. Not if he's been working on it for 5 years, brother. And he beat Max the first time like that. And a lot of the footage he's releasing, a lot of grappling heavy. And especially if you were to get in trouble. Now, do I think the first round is going to come out and he's fucking Ben Askren? No. I think he's going to feel it out. And then and I think Conor comes out like the first round, I bet you Conor wins. And all of us are like, oh, just wait. All of us are like, oh, shit, he's back. And then as it goes on, it gets a little dicey for him, right, if he doesn't put Max away. And then he starts grappling. And then could win by decision. Adam Smitty, if Conor wins, the next press conference will be wild, 1,000%. Wyatt says, thanks for the response. I appreciate what you boys are doing over there, and I love tuning in. Shout out to you and the Chinster. I hope Chin sings some slaps for us tomorrow. Me too. Exalted Born. B, real talk. After what Dustin did to that lead leg, do you think Conor can even use that old wide stance anymore, or is that style basically compromised now? Here's the thing. Max Holloway's not like a leg crusher. It's never been his thing. He's not a real big attack the legs, dismantle the leg, get it out of there. It's not his thing. So, again, this is another reason why I think it's a great opponent to come back to. ZTO coaching, we need you on a 24-hour live stream for this card. It'd just be me glazing Conor for 24 hours. That Gemma girl said, Conor said no trilogy. Max is going into retirement after Saturday. That's some shit to be talking to, not follow through. Oof. Mile High. Oh, you are born and raised in Denver. Did you see that confidence you were hoping for in the Conor press conference yesterday? I did. And really, it's not, the press conference, Conor's always going to turn it on and, play a character, a little exaggerated version of himself. All good. But it's more in the interviews that he's doing with everybody, with Chael, with everybody. That's where, if you're a Conor fan, you're getting confidence from. He's saying the right things, and it's also not like the Khabib days, the Dustin Poirier days, where it's nasty, dark energy. It's none of that. It's grateful, respectful for the most part, unless he's talking about Khabib. Jason, welcome to the club, big dog. J. Luke says they hardly talked about it on Protect Your Neck. Yeah, it's 4 dudes, I don't think they do 3 hours of deep dive on it. That's what I like to do, but Rogan doesn't have an agenda. You just talk with his friends. That's what's great. Ride by Ting. Dang, I just saw the Conor weigh-in. He's looking good. Yes, sir. Eduardo, love the jersey. Let's go Mexico. Yes, sir. The Gimmer Girl, what's Conor's weight? Better be 170. Drew Casablanca, hot take. If this was pay-per-view, would it do numbers like before? I don't think they ever get back to those days, even if there was, but it would be the biggest in probably the last 5 years. Mikey Mukai, Matt Sierra is hilarious. Yeah, he's awesome. Drew Casablanca, Conor, 170 and a half. 170 and a half. Let's go, baby. Let's freaking go. Matt W says, do you feel more confident in Conor's mindset knowing he accepted the Prates fight than the Max fight instead of cherry picking Chandler fight? Yeah, I just think he's chomping at the bit to get in there. So he's like, yeah, I'll fight Prates. Even though it's a terrible matchup, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to get in there. That's a good thing. I am Moldon says, grilling and listening to Big Brown Breakdown. Let's effing go. Happy Friday. Let's go, dude. What we grilling, big dog? Slurp says, can you give your thoughts on Izzy announcing he has left his camp? What he said makes sense, but how big of a red flag is this? I saw the headline that he's leaving camp. What was his reason for leaving? I'll say this. I also left the camp I was with forever. Sometimes it's like the last hurrah. It's like a Hail Mary because you've been with your coach so long and you feel like it's mundane at this point and just going through the motions and you need a fresh start. Sometimes it works. More times than often, it doesn't. It's just because even if he goes to a new camp, it's not going to improve your speed. It's not going to improve, your will to win. There's no camp in the world you can go to find that. But for his mindset, that might be exactly what Izzy needs to get back on track. So it's more of a mindset thing. It doesn't matter where he goes.
Did you hear that him and Olberg were having kind of beef issues before too?
Oh, him and Olberg having issues?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Once you get some other superstars in camp, that's what happened to Grudge. There's too many superstars, and then it gets weird. It gets weird, man. The Shea Show says Conor will do more takedowns than usual because at the press conference he level changed to see how Max would react, but Max did the same thing back. Russell O'Gorman says, saw a couple of pics and videos of rings on the red carpet for the MMA awards. Yeah, he killed it. Kind of disrespectful you didn't get the invite. I did, Bubba. I did. I ain't flying out there just for that. But I did. I get the invite every year. I love them. They know that, but I ain't flying out there. Especially midweek. It ain't happening. I was working with the boys combine style, 5-10 fives, shuttle drills, pushing sleds, push-ups, pull-ups, box jumps. It's football off season, summer season, so I can't miss that. And there's an NFL guy working outside too in his Patriots helmet. I think he went to University of Texas and he just got drafted. So the boys were like inspired by that. So it was a great workout today. Johnny says, this shit finally working for me. Conor said he's going to contort Max's body. He's going to win by sub. Ooh, sub's tough over Max. Sub is tough. I hope you're right, but sub would be tough. Ulysses says, hey, be listening on my way to Muay Thai sparring again. Thanks for the combo a couple weeks ago. Inside leg kick to hook. Any thoughts on Muay Thai growing in the States? Could it get big like MMA? Nope. It would have happened, brother. They've tried. For whatever reason, Glory came here. They've had a bunch of stuff. K1 came here back in the day in Vegas. It is what it is. Adrian says, for some strange reason, I felt like both Conor and Paddy win Saturday night. That's what's on the radar. Is the last fight in the UFC against Paddy at 170. We all know Paddy would move up for the bag. Maybe, right? There's like a three-headed monster here. It's Paddy, Ilya, and Conor. You can mix and match however you will. Even though Ilya going up to 170 would be a nightmare for him. Omar, do you really think Ian can beat Islam? Dude, people forget, man. Ian barely beat Bilal. It's because he poked him in both eyes early in the round. Islam's going to destroy Gary. I don't think he destroys him. People sleep on Ian Gary. That dude's so talented. Very, very high-level fight IQ. Doesn't take a lot of chances. Great takedown defense. You look at his fight against Schaub. Ian Gary's a beast. Look what he did against Prates. Like, dude, that kid's tough. SB Youngbloods, one more sleep, baby. The Mac is back. I cannot wait. I can't wait. Scoop says Conor said he's completely out of drinking and won't drink at his after party. Only his non-alcoholic forged stout. Yeah, I like myself some non-alcoholic beer too. Life of G. Been with the gang forever. Glad to be here supporting. Love the content. Super excited to fight and live stream. Thanks, brother. The Stoner. Conor came in hot to the face-off. Yes, sir. That's what I expect. Nothing less. Omar, Islam versus Conor would shift the timelines of the world. Would be huge. Would love to see that if he gets by Max. Oh, let's see how he looks. You know, let's say he beats Max with takedowns by decision. What's he do against Islam? That Islam fight's tough, man. Tough. Big Rich says, got to go back to work. Lunch break over. I'll be listening on my headphone now until I get yelled at. Good for you, man. SB Youngbloods, last night's presser was litty. Yes, it was. Adam was giving Conor the Max matchup a punishment for Conor. I'm sure they could have fed him Chandler for an easier fight. No, I think it's the best matchup they could have gave him. And at Conor's level, it's just, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Because if he only has 2 fights left, you give him Chandler, you're not giving him a title fight after Chandler. You give him a Max fight. So I think this is them seeing what they got. He's supposedly making $30 million. So they're like, dude, you're getting fed. You got to fight one of the big boys. So here's Max. You beat him, then we can give you a title shot. But if you only have 2 left and we're thinking you're going to test free agency, we're going to give you Max, then a title shot. Hopefully you renegotiate for that title shot. We don't want to go Chandler, then Max, then figure it out. Nick says, not going to get to see most of the card because I'm seeing Mark Norman Saturday night. He's a great one. Hope he finishes before the main event so I can watch on my phone in the car. Make my buddies drive for this reason. Good for you. Mark's awesome. Stay Weird says, I wonder why they didn't bring out more fighters last night for the press conference because it's Conor McGregor and Paddy Pimblett. Nate Dogg says, I feel like Paddy lost a bit of his silly side this past week. He usually keeps it up in the fight. Do you think his focus and confidence just changed? His personality entirely lost his brightness? Taking that loss like he did, he's probably like, I gotta dial it up, man. I gotta laser in focus. Let's chill out. You know, there's a lot of pressure on him. Crack Stream, welcome to the club. Dustin White says, regardless of what happens on Saturday, the best thing for 170 division is Ian taking the strap from Islam next month. We need more active champions. You can't be fighting one time a year. I agree with that. D. Scott, I got Conor first round KO. Good Lord. Omar says, Izzy and Carlos Olberg had some beef. I think that's why he left. Which would be weird because Izzy's one of the originals there. It'd be weird to pick Carlos over him, but it is what it is. Captain 420, does Max have power to hurt Conor, or do you think he needs to tire him out before hurting him? The punches can add up. It's a volume punch thing. Max isn't a heavy hitter. At 170, though, if Conor did something stupid, you know, and ran into a big right hand or left hook, you know, it's still Max Holloway. But no, he's not like a one-shot knockout type of dude. ALC says, what do you think keeps other promotions from getting big like the UFC? Marketing and star power. Life of G says 4 out of 5 losses in a row is tough. I don't blame Izzy. Yeah, but it's not the coaching, you know. It's a lot of factors. But for Izzy as a fighter, if you can kind of chalk it up to the coaching, it's going to help you get through life. Carlos, that's right, big dog. K. Duffin, can you imagine Conor starches Max and starts calling out Khabib and the whole team? Yeah, that'd be crazy. Patrick Martinez, did Dana White's energy seem off yesterday? Also, how was the doctor's stay for your baby girl? Doctor visit for baby girl was fantastic. He says he thinks she's going to be sprinting by next year, by next summer is what he said. He said she's going to be my fastest kid. I said, have you seen my Bosty? And then did Dana White's energy seem off yesterday? I didn't see it live, but if it is, all these guys, Paddy, Dana, when Conor's up there, they're taking a step back. You might as well not even show up. He's stealing the show. Crackstream says, last Conor fight, the U.S. Army logo on the Octagon subliminally made me join the Army, but here I am 5 years later. Thank you for your service, big dog. Graphic Gorilla, a little bit late, but I made it. It's going, big dog. Thank you. White Slurp says, Izzy says that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expect a new result. I agree with you, though. Just want to see him go out when he out a win. Yeah, and maybe we'll do it. Yeah, if his coach is just doing the same thing over and over and they're not adding wrinkles into it, maybe he feels like they've kind of given up on him. And then he's right. Izzy's a smart dude, man. So he's probably making the right choice. Austin says, put money on Conor to win via stoppage in the third. Timing in the first, couple takedowns to make Max hesitant in the second, put him winning the third. I love that take. Ryan Biting, BSD got a manly-looking wife. All I'm going to say, bring her up, Chin. I'd like to get my peepers on her. Mile High, Roy Val from Denver, too. I thought we would ride with the hometown boys, B. Cory Sandhagen's from Aurora. So, if, rooting for Cory with Brandon Royval. I root for him. Yeah, he is from Denver, trains that other team out there. I can't be a homer that much. I'm already picking Cory, which I think is a tough fight. The Shea Show. Do you think Max is mentally affected by losing the first fight? No. It was so long ago, and he's such a different fighter. Both of them are. Chris Lamb, Conor on the Nelk pod sounded convincing. Were the Nelk boys asking him some good questions? Oh, his wife's cute, man. Come on, be cool. Big Ben says, I was watching Old Cats and saw Nicky Rod submit a video. Caught me off guard. Yeah, Nicky Rod's my boy. Peebles, we're doing great, brother. We're doing great. Brock says, what should be Conor's game plan? Feeling out in the first. Don't get hit with any big shots. Get that ring rust off a little bit. Get the timing down. Get the speed, the pressure, the anxiety out of there. And then get that jab going. Throw some kicks. Gauge the distance. And then get Max to kind of commit. We want Max on his back foot. So if that happens in the first round, great. In the second round, you're going to hear Max coaches say, you can't be on your back foot. You got to pressure. Max starts coming forward. Then we start landing takedowns. Hopefully he lands a few takedowns. And then in the third, we start going to work. That fool Chris says, I'm late, but I was watching the weigh-ins. Conor and Max made weight. Let's go. Like I said, can you imagine if Conor would have missed weight? Disaster. Slowfit says, Max was able to defend takedowns from Brian Ortega. Even Rogan on the broadcast called Max takedown defense elite. So is Charles' takedowns that much better, or did Max defense get worse? Rogan called elite like recently? That's strange. It's good. The term elite gets tossed out a little too much these days. A little too much. SB Youngblood said, Dana said he has 5 scenarios for Conor if Conor wins and 3 scenarios if Max wins. Yeah, that makes sense. Jay Luke says, Charles spent 25 minutes trying to sub Max. No way Conor gets it done by sub. Agree. Crackstream, will we be live for the prelims tomorrow? Yes, 7:30. So we're trying to line up the Steveson fight, the Gable Steveson fight. So we'll start with Steveson fight. But it's at 7:30 p.m. Central Time regardless. Rafi says, I'm rooting for Ian and Conor in Dublin. Me too. Russell says, that player in the Patriot helmet was a big black guy? No, white dude, big white dude. Just newly arrived at New England. Heard his coaches talking about him. He had like the official helmet on shit too. My kids were like, what? He was like, he looks like a guard maybe. My Tiger, my oldest, was like, they're that big? I'm like, yeah, Bubba. Damien Navant says, am I the only one a little worried about Whittaker moving up? He looks small versus DDP. Has he bulked up properly? You don't want him to get too bulky because you want him to have his elusive footwork and speed. That's his advantage, especially at 205. DDP could be a heavyweight. DDP is huge. So I wouldn't chalk it up when you see him next to DDP. DDP's big ass should be at 205, no, especially. He's huge. Omar says, did people forget who Islam is? Islam has to be one of the best ever and gets little mention for double champ. He'd eat Conor for breakfast, but the drama and talk around it would be insane. People forget because he's not active. He's not active. He's not on social media really. He doesn't do much, so that's why people forget. That's on him. Brandon says, I'm back on the Mac train. He's just too much fun. Seeing him this week got me to remind myself why he's the man, right? How much better is the UFC when Conor's fighting? Mr. Offensive Streams, back from the lunch break. Hope I didn't miss much. Could Conor and Paddy fight? 1,000% at 170. Sofit, correct. Always so awkward when they have a bunch of fighters on the press conference and they ask only 2 fighters questions. Correct. It's super awkward. It's also embarrassing for the fighters, too. They're like, fuck, man. Just makes you feel like a loser. K. Duffin, hey, off topic, but did you ever train with Hodger Gracie? I did. He's my BJJ GOAT, and I know he was around the MMA scene back in the day. Yep. He came and trained with us with George St. Pierre. There was a bunch of us there, and he just absolutely mopped the floor with people grappling. Now, he came there to work on his striking, but that went very bad for him, so then he was like, let's just grapple. But grappling, it was wild. Wild. It was like everyone was white belts. Everyone. High-level guys. He mopped the floor with us. Super nice dude, too. Great coach. Stay Weird says, did you feel like there was some weird tension between Dana and Conor last night? No. I just think when Conor's out there, especially when you're on stage and there's that many people, that magnitude of a crowd, Conor takes over, and they haven't seen this in 5 years. So usually Dana's, he's the orchestrator. He's the ringmaster. So it must be awkward for those guys, Mixed Marshall Mike, thank you for the donation. He goes, we the people don't appreciate Chin enough. He is Asian American national treasure. God damn it. He will not be stopped.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do appreciate Chin. Normac, the Conor seems back to basics, hopefully. I'm fucking excited, dude. Love Paddy's confidence as well. Me too. It's going to be a sad day if Paddy and Conor lose tomorrow. Chase's German says, just joined. Happy to be here. After seeing Max speak about proving himself, he still has it in him. Has me thinking he can really get it done. Do you think he will wrestle at all in this fight? I do. Crack Stream. Hey, Brendan, been watching for years. My wife says she doesn't like you and Brian's voice, so I just tell her to deal with it. I get it. We're annoying. Yeah. The cleaner says both made weight and Conor looks ripped. Love it. Chris Lamb says, how's the new Ram? Dude, I dropped off on Monday. It's actually in this building. And it's getting wrapped. It's supposed to be done today. So I've been driving my Power Stroke Hummer with no AC, no radio for the past 2 weeks. It's fun, though, but it's hot. Andrew says, if Conor wins, who do you think he calls out? That's a great question. Because he has somebody in line. Probably Gaethje at 70. Nate Dogg says, maybe a hot take, but I feel like Charles beats Ilya 8 times out of 10. He just got dumb and imposed his will. He could because he underestimates Ilya's Because he's small. Nah, I don't think so, Bubba. Maverick, welcome to the club, big dog. Jacob, so glad to hear about your daughter with your and Joe's genetics. You know she will crush the normal stats. I hope so, brother. Thank you. Crack, glad your daughter. Thank you, guys. Estona, I wouldn't mind seeing Conor versus Huffy. Similar styles could be good. My thing with that, Huffy hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned that level yet. He has a ways to go. You don't beat Chandler with a cakewalk fight and get to Conor. Chris, if Dustin Poirier was to come back, what would be a perfect fight for him to take? I don't want him to come back. I want him to get sober and focus on his family. T. Trent says, McGregor said Holloway put Gaethje face down, ass up, and then tells Gaethje less of the disrespect, you effing bum. Like he didn't just drop the most disrespectful insult at the presser. Yeah, it's Conor being Conor. Mr. Offensive Streams, Monday, my fiance is being induced to have our second son after 12 years. Wish us luck. Good for you, brother. And you have a built-in babysitter. You're doing it right. Adam, with Conor days at 55 done, is he going to be a champ ever again? I don't see him being champ at 170. I think BMF is below him. He'd do BMF. They could do Gaethje or Paddy at 170 for BMF. And for Conor, it doesn't matter because they're paying him his bag no matter what. Whether he has the belt, BMF, non-title, he's getting paid. So Conor's down. Maverick says, F it, decided to join you boys. Threw my debit card down like the Mac threw Mac's shades down. That's hilarious. Oh my, that is funny. Slowfit, do anyone notice there's an empty section of the press conference? Wonder who was supposed to take those seats. Seems odd. Yeah, that is weird. As packed as it was. Stevie G says, been following you for so long. I remember when you were going to have Tiger, and now seeing where you are in life with 3 little ones is awesome. I think you're a great dad. Thanks, brother. Yeah, shit. When the day Tiger was born, I did a fight campaign with Rogan, Bryan, and Eddie Bravo. And they're like, you had a kid? I'm like, just had a kid. They're like, what the hell are you doing here? I'm like, my wife told me to go. There's nothing I can do. Because I told him, like, Joe's doing his thing. What should I do? She's like, we got it. Go. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, hell yeah. That's why she's awesome. The Cleaner just heard the weigh-in show. Theo and Din Thomas doing a simulcast on the fights with the UFC. That's cool. Good for Theo, man. Yeah, he's ingrained with the UFC now. That's great. Captain, thank you, brother. The Caton God says, Rogan also said Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, we've all said some wild shit, man. He's still the GOAT. Ralphie, what if Max catches Conor with a spinning back kid? I'll probably cry. Adam says, if Conor goes 1-1 in his last 2 fights, does UFC re-sign him or let him walk? They'll try and re-sign him, but it's going to be tough because the amount of money Netflix MVP is going to throw at him, so we'll see what happens. The Caton God says, shout out Chim. What are you doing for the fights, big dog? He's working here so you guys can see the live stream. Al High says, watched the Ultimate Fighter clip the other day, and was you trying to calm down Marcus Jones from killing Matt? Short backstory behind that. Yeah, Matt and Marcus had beef, man, and then they were going to fight like right there. It just doesn't make sense. It's just unprofessional. And they'd both get kicked out, so I don't want to see any of that. The Shea Show, why did Conor have 2 belts at the press? He's just trying to sell those special Ireland belts on the UFC website? I don't know, but I just got noticed. I got tracking. They shipped my UFC Freedom belt. But for Conor, I mean, he's a 2-belt champ, right, previously, so. Slowfit says, Rogan mentioned Max takedown and fist was elite during the Ortega fight. Didn't look like that during the Charles fight. Maybe Father Time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, during the Ortega fight. But here's the thing. Ortega's a jiu-jitsu guy. So that's not and so is Charles Oliveira, but Charles Oliveira has also incorporated, freestyle wrestling, a lot of different kind of wrestling takedowns. Ortega is a pure jiu-jitsu takedown type of dude. Much easier to defend. Much easier to defend. So I wouldn't call that elite. East Texas timepiece. What up, man? Hello, Twitter world. Patrick Martinez, what's Max going to do? Volume punch him? Yeah. Diet sodas and pepperonis with extra sauce. Yes, sir. We do got to order some food tomorrow night, huh, Chin?
Yeah.
I'll get it going.
You sure?
Yeah. Russell says, I think Conor by TKO beginning of the third round. Head kick into the ground and pound. If it goes to decision, I think Max probably takes it by split. Low-key excited to see what Whittaker at light heavyweight. Me too, brother. Mikey Mukai says, I think Max is cautious round 1. Gets wobbled. Conor victorious by stoppage. Yeah, we'll see what Max does. You know, Max is a crazy Hawaiian. So, but if I'm Max, I'm like, let's see what version of Conor we're getting. So, again, he'll probably lose that first round. Second, third round is going to tell the story of this fight. East Texas timepiece, that face-off got me excited. Yeah, man. The cleaner says, I love how excited everyone is, but Conor's going to get melted by Max round 3. Maybe, bud, but that's not fun, is it? The Shea Show says, I saw an IG post saying Conor and Jared Cannonier are the only fighters to fight in 3 weight classes. That can't be true. Poton, right? Middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. BJ Penn. Machida did as well. I guess if they're only counting UFC, you wouldn't count Machida. But no, there's been other guys, bud. Slow fit. Any chance for Cody No Chin to get a W? I hope so, man. For his sake, I hope so. Right, Biting got an 8-hour drive to Vegas. You're headed now, bud? That's going to be so fun. Going Grounds podcast. Where do you think Max goes from here if he wins and if he loses? For Max, at his level, at that legendary status, you know, if Max were to win, he's saying the same things. He's like, everyone's talking about Conor fighting Islam or Conor fighting Ian Machado Gary or Justin Gaethje for the belt. Like, I want the same shit, man. So probably similar stuff. The Graph Gorilla says, man, one of my main jobs here is designing, installing vehicle wraps here in Canada. It would be dope to design something for you in your rigs one day. I don't do designs, brother. I appreciate you. And, you know, I love you, Graphic. I keep it simple, brother. I'll post a picture of my IG story of the truck when it's done today. It was white and black. I can't do white. I can't do black cars. I can't do silver cars. They're too common. So it's a little more loud. Slow fit. Which scenario seems more likely with 5-year layoff? Is Conor raring to go and comes in hot like a Cerrone fight? Or we take it slow and calculate, trying to shake the rust off? Combo of both. Combo of both. Rafi says, hoping Max came in lighter, like 165. Is that a bad take? No, I agree. I usually like my guys when they're coming up a little lighter, so they have a speed advantage. Chris, no, I don't have tow mirrors, brother. No, man, I don't be towing shit. I just drive fast. Graphic Gorilla says, I want to see Dustin on the commentary team more often. I'm a fan of Dustin, whether he's fighting or not. It's just nice to see him involved in the sport. Agree. Get my girl, Frank Yeager, correct. Slow fit. I feel like it's a win-win for Max. If he wins, he derails the hype train. But if he loses, it's not a real 170 and has a win over the current champ, Justin. Yeah. For that's why I'm rooting for Conor so hard. Like for Max, he's fine. You lose, all right. You fought at 170, dude. Go back to 55. There's still big fights for him. NX Zilla, welcome to the Big Brown Club. Mr. Offensive Stream, should Conor give those 2 belts to Dana? Gave him to Max if he wins? No. He's earned it. That's history, bud. Wes says, do you think things are over for Cody Garbrandt? People forget he was supposed to be the next Conor. Sadly, seems to be one fight wonder. It's been a tough one. Aaron says, day 2 of asking Chin to turn up the volume so I can hear at work.
Well, my main thing is the clipping. We don't want him to clip, but I found a way around it that I'll probably work on this weekend.
Boom. Drew says, congrats on Callan going to the MMA Awards. When was the last time you went, and was it fun? It was awesome. They used to do it at the Palms. I think I went to like the first 1 or 2. Nate Dogg says, Rogan gave Ethan Ewing some flowers yesterday. I've been singing his praises since the first round of his Wellmaker fight. Glad to see someone acknowledge him. He could be a star and a huge prospect. Yeah, Ewing's a monster, dude. It's just tough to get shine on this level of card with this level of stars, but he'll definitely make a name for himself. It's just tough on this one for people to talk about him. Russell says, BMF is kind of BS. It feels like exclusively for lightweight, and I know there's guys in 170 up that are more deserving than Charles. Yeah, agree. Andrew, are any of your trucks manual? Maybe the Hummer? No, sir. No, sir. Omar, has Theo always been a fan of the UFC, or was him being there since the prelims part of advertising himself and attaching the fan base himself? I love Theo, but just curious. No comment. There's a lot of people in the comedy space who attach to the UFC. Adam says, do you think if Gable makes a run, does that get DC up for one more fight? No. God, no. No. Hell no. Emilio says, random rumor, but I read that apparently Conor and Paddy got into it verbally before going out the face-off. Interesting. I wonder how real that is, though, brother. W. Jill Breath. Box Jake Paul, bro. I don't think he's boxing me. Father Brown says, Dan said he has 3 plans for Max if he wins, 5 plans for Conor if he wins. Care to speculate? I mean, the 5 plans for Conor, go through it. Justin Gaethje, he's never fighting at 55. So Justin Gaethje, BMF, Paddy at 170, Islam, Machado Gary, Chandler, maybe Ilya. ZTO coaching. Let's say Conor comes back and starches Max in dominant 2016 fashion. How good are his chances to beat Islam? It's just a completely different animal. Still not good. Probably a 6-1 underdog in that fight. Adam, Big Brown, are we getting any more seasons of TV show? Loved it. Hope we get more. Would love more vehicle content. I know. In my contract, I'm supposed to post the 4 shows to this YouTube. And we posted one, and they got flagged for the music. Didn't get a strike, but got flagged. So they need to clear the music before we post them. So we can't negotiate until I post on my YouTube. So they got to figure that out. I'm not in a rush. It'd be great, but if not, no harm, no foul. SB Youngbloods, I would like to see Ilya go back to 145 and challenge Volk for the belt. Volk deserves a chance at redemption. Yes and no. I'd like to see him redeem himself at 55. You can't run from 55. Joey Mukbangs, when are you going to drop the mukbang eating video or live, Big Brown? It doesn't have to be a massive meal. I do eating lives on TikTok. Somehow got 570,000 followers. Yeah, good for you, brother. I don't want to eat on camera. Not like that. Like, I'll eat pizza on the fucking live show or something. Yeah, there's a ton of guys that did 3 weights. Anthony Johnson's a great one. That fool Chris says, I've literally never clicked away from UFC weigh-in show. However, I've never paid to be a member of YouTube channel either. Dude, thank you. Yep, Frank Edgar, 35, 45, 55. Yeah, that graphic is just probably some young kid, doesn't know the game. Doesn't know ball. Stevie G says, it won't happen, but Max points down the first 10 seconds and Conor gets a KO and make us all bust. That's definitely not going to happen. It'd be awesome. So fit, BJ fought light heavyweight, didn't he? Yeah. The Rock. The promotion called The Rock, and it was in Hawaii. Crackstream says, I'm genuinely curious to see what Conor's bringing to the table. Max looks so fast and better defensively now compared to the first fight. Yeah. They're both a little slower, little different versions of that first fight. That's for sure. Where am I at?
I think around there.
Nate Dogg, he's off the card, sadly. You're talking about Ewing? Omar says, I'm pretty sure Ewing's off the card. Correct. Going Grounds podcast. Do you think it's a mistake to give Gable Steveson a seemingly easy matchup, or is it the right path to build up? You got to build him up. Let's see what we got. We have no idea. It's his first fight. Jitters are real. He's on a Conor card. It's a lot for anyone. Even a gold medalist Olympic, this is a different animal. Nate Dogg says injury. He's talking about Ewing again. Injury he pulled out last week, I believe 2 weeks ago. Chris Lamb, surprised to see Conor give Dustin Poirier some advice for the situation he's facing. Not me. I expected that out of him. I got to be honest. Patrick says, glad to hear about your baby girl. I hope that freedom belt ain't fun size after all this waiting. Bro, you ain't lying. The guy delivering the UPS guy is like, dude, when it comes, he's a big UFC fan. He listens to this. He's a big fan of the Boys in the Back. He's the one that's like, oh, Boys in the Back, we're talking about it, man. He's awesome. And he's like, dude, you got to open that thing right here when I drop it off. I'm like, let's do it, bud. You can wear it, man. Drew Casablanca, Chim, what are we making for the fight Saturday night? Some of those fire-ass meatballs? Yeah, that'd be nice.
They're just too hard
God,
and expensive.
I love those.
I know.
The Stona used to be one of my paid vacation days. Use one of my paid vacation days for tomorrow, so I'll be getting paid to watch the comeback. Good for you, dude. The Cleaner says number 5 of the 5 choices might be Masvidal for Conor. Yeah, maybe. I see people sending jewels. I don't. What is that? It's like a Fortnite thing.
What is it?
Joey Muckbang says, I bet $50 for Conor to win round 2 to win 600. Another 10 bet to win 400 if Conor wins in the first 60 seconds. Oof. What are the odds of Conor landing takedowns? Are there prop bets on Conor takedowns? If it's over under 1 and it's good odds, I would take the over of takedowns. Patrick says, Schaub, Jim, my brothers, good to see you. Love you, boys. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Slowfit, do you think Conor Max would be better if it was a 3-round fight? Both fighters could start fast with a shorter fight. Yeah, it'd be nice. Whoa. The odds over half of takedown would be plus money, plus 180 range. Buddy, that's a great bet. Those odds makers don't know ball, and they don't know the game plan. Scroll down for a bit, Chin. We're at almost at an hour. We'll go to, what, 12:30, Chin? We start at 11?
Yeah, and at the hour mark, we should probably do our ad. We have one.
In
ad.
7 minutes, you got to do an ad?
Yep.
Okay, Chin. Timothy Coppinger, thank you for your donation. Ilya has too much pride to go back to 45. Yeah, but it's also, there's work for him to do at 55. You know, like it'd be kind of a bitch move to jump down to 45. He'll redeem himself at 55. Chris Baxter, can you talk about your arena football experience a little? What was that like, and when did you know football was done, and how tough was it at that time? I can. If you, this chat goes where you guys want to go. I'm obviously raring to go with Conor talk, but with football, yeah. So it was the Utah Blaze in Salt Lake City, and they wanted me to get to 290 to play fullback. And I remember going through camp, and I was eating at an Olive Garden. I was trying to eat all this pasta to gain weight, and I was going through practice, not catching any footballs, literally just blocking guys. And I just remember sitting in my hotel like, what the fuck am I doing, man? I didn't dream of this as a kid. What am I doing? And I got my Volkswagen Touareg, and I drove home. And that was the last time I ever put football pads on. T-Noble, what was the Masvidal speculation you had some months ago? Does tomorrow's have anything to do with it? No, it's not my story to tell. I'm sure Masvidal will say something. It's juicy though. It's a good one. Patrick, my first sub to any channel as well. Got to make sure T and Bossy can get in with their new cleats and bats, dude. You ain't lying, brother. I'm trying to find Tiger. I need like a men's size 6 and the Dion football cleats. Those are the ones he wants. I can't find them. The Cleaner, what's your thoughts on Terrance McKinney and King Green? Prediction, that's my low-key favorite sleeper fight on the stat card. Great opening fight to the main card. King Green is older. He's almost 40. So he's the more experienced guy. He's a vet. So usually when it's a younger guy just storming forward, a veteran can handle that. But he's a little slower, which I think is going to be a problem against T-Mac. Slowfist says, do we know why Max is wearing a bulletproof vest during the face-offs? Yeah, I didn't know if it was like a floaty or a bulletproof vest.
It's a sponsor thing.
It's a sponsored designer thing. Yeah. This is why they do it. So we're talking about it. Crackstream says, Max doesn't point down to the end of the fight. Yeah. W. Brooks says, did you guys make the post about going live on your other socials? I haven't noticed it and would help drive people here. I was going to do it on Saturday morning. I could do it today if you guys want, though. Wrestler Dad, long-time watcher, first time commenting. Watching the fight from Mount St. Helens this weekend. Hiking one lap around the entire volcano starting tonight. Damn, good luck, brother. Russell says, say Gable Steveson starches his opponent. Does the UFC keep him and Hoke it apart for a while to build the hype? Yeah. Yeah. Drew says, they're spending money to send jewels, basically. Oh, gotcha. I don't know how it works, brother. Ravishing one. Buddy, when are you going to do another car giveaway and mod a car this time? Soon. I got to get my Hummer. My LS swapped Hummer is done. So I got to go shoot with the boys at Autotopia Motor Trend in 2 weeks. I got to go to LA. I'm bringing the whole family out there. And then I will ship it back to here. Once I get through that project, that one's been a beast. My boy Bruno at Sig Motorsport's been grinding. But once I get through that, then I'll start looking at something else, like a giveaway. Slowfist says, do you remember who was recently that tried promoting their drink at the press conference, but UFC made them take it down? Aljo. Aljamain Sterling and his rum. Love Aljo. Maverick says, Max's entrance into dangerous range exit backs out are so creative. Hope Max gives Conor the opportunity to win this fight and doesn't just play it safe until Conor's gassed. Yeah, that'd be a bummer. Be the smart thing to do. Graphic Gorilla, do you think Michael Chandler's hinting at moving up weight in hopes to finally land that Conor fight, or do you think it's generally hard for him to make 55 now? I could see him versus Bilal too. Oh, that's an interesting fight. I think he's chasing the Conor fight, and he knows he only has one left, so he's like, I don't want to keep cutting. And Conor's at 70, so maybe this gives me another opportunity. Chris Lamb, Ilya ain't fighting Conor at 170. That little fur walks around at 112. Drew says, Max was wearing a Kick streaming vest with the meta glasses that Conor tossed. It's bad, but Max getting paid like Rampage. That makes sense. On I Hammer says, I didn't start watching podcasts in 2019. I started with King and the Sting. I was recovering from a severe injury from a fight where the referee forgot to lock the door on the cage. Jesus, brother. Hopefully you're all right.
Can we jump into the ad real quick?
Yes.
All right.
Chin says we got to do an ad. I'll just sit here.
And welcome to Pluto-Fo. If you know the name of the movie you would like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For Showtime's press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
All right, we back.
What up? What was the ad for, Chin? Do we know?
Pluto TV.
Pluto TV. A lot of people on TikTok sent me this Diet Coke thing. It says fridge cigs. I ordered it. It's so small. I don't. Can they see it, Chin, or no?
I'll make him see real quick.
Show it to him, Chin. It's supposed to light up, and then at home it wouldn't light up. So I need to get an extension. You see the Diet Coke? Just a little something to take the edge off. Fridge Cigs. It's the size of a tall boy beer can. A little wider. It's supposed to light up red, but it's not working. So that's cool. That's what you get for buying off TikTok. But some people sent to me, was like, you got to get this thing. I'm like, okay. It was also like $12. Let's get back to it. Crack Stream. We got another 30 minutes, kids, so let's get after it. I'm trying to answer all of them. Crack Stream. I didn't play football till high school because my family couldn't afford to put me in sports, but the lack of experience didn't matter much because I wanted to play so bad. Yeah, you can do that. The after show but later says Chin should schedule the streams. It'll help get the conversion going before you all go live and attract more viewers. Chin.
Show us how. What do you mean, just on social media, or? I mean, because we already have a schedule. It's 11 a.m. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And
after show but later, can you email Chin? Me and him have no idea what's best for these lives. Damien, how did I end up on the ignore list B? Just because the comedian doesn't make me a hater? Just because I'm a comedian? I wouldn't know if you're a comedian, brother. Submit your question. I didn't see it. Sometimes I don't see them, brother, because it keeps going. And if I'm on a rant, I miss some. So I'm not ignoring anybody. But if it's a really stupid question, I might skip it, but I doubt I ignored you. Captain 420, can we get Chin to sing Wonderwall tomorrow? Yes. Chris Lamb, I thought you were giving away the pink Jeep. I was going to, then my kids loved it, I loved it, and then Chin blew the motor. So
whatever, dude.
So right now, Texas Speed Performance is tossing a 427 in it. That thing's gonna cook, and then I'll send it to my boys at AEV to get an AV conversion on it. It's gonna be sick, and then I'll see what I do with it. But I do love that Jeep. I didn't think I would like Jeeps. That Jeep 392 cooks. Mr. Offensive Streams, I know he's not on the card, but I think Hoka is just going to be the next Tai Tuivasa. I disagree. Too talented, brother. He has too many tools. Tai Tuivasa was like a machete. He only had one trick. Wyatt says, it's awesome to hear you share the good news on Billy. I've gone through some scary health stuff in my 20s with epilepsy. Oh, wow. And how good it feels to have a doctor finally give you confidence. Yeah, some of these doctors are fucking so negative, man. Like the doctor told my wife and me, I'm fine. I'm a grown-ass man. I've been through some shit. But told my wife, like, yeah, there's a chance she never walks again. And I was like, oh, you're an idiot. Watch this. Slow Fit. As a fighter, do you have to have a sense of delusion? Like, does Alicia and his team actually think they're going to win against Gable, or do they know it's going to take a miracle? They actually think they're going to win. Yeah. Yeah, they actually think they're going to win. Chris Baxter, in a perfect MMA world, what does the matchups look like for Conor if he wins tomorrow? What does the matchups look like for Max if he loses? If Conor wins, I think in an ideal world, that Triple Crown's never been done. Ian Machado beats Islam, and they do that at 70. That'd be like the big boy. And then second to that would be Paddy Pimblett at 170. After show but later, what email can you send it to, Chin?
Ask chinsuyi@gmail.com.
Dylan Davis, when did Conor become this elite wrestler? I feel like he'll have a tough time getting Max down. He's not an elite wrestler, but Max ain't an elite takedown defense guy. He's not. You can't say that off of Brian Ortega, a pure jiu-jitsu guy. Drew Casablanca, so if you've ever watched the weigh-in show, Big B, what do you think about these dumb games they play? I see some of the clips of the games. It's very rare I watch the weigh-in shows. I'll watch the pre-fight shows sometimes if I have nothing going on, but usually I can only make it for like the first real fights because my kids usually have sports, but it's July, so they don't have any official games. We just have practices. Nate Dogg, are questions for Chin frowned upon? No, fire away. They're good questions. You know, fire away. Jay Little says, what up, B? I was supposed to meet you at a show in Louisville, Kentucky, but you had to cancel. You're supposed to be the first UFC fighter I met, but I got to meet Stipe at a derby party this year. Stipe's awesome. Scoop says, let's have Chin have some drinks tomorrow during the live show. Drew says, slow fit. King Green is basically my neighbor in the IE. Having those shorts is so OG repping his city like Brendan. I love it. T Noble, Hoka's the Schaub of 2026. Super athletic with personality. He might be a little better than me, brother. And I definitely didn't have that type of personality. He took it by storm. Timothy Copcher, thank you for your donations. Walk us through some of those car rides on the way to the gym to spar Carwin. Absolute bubble guts? No, ignorance is bliss. So it was, I think about how young and dumb I was. I was just like, oh, it's sparring day, and I get ready and just get ready to go. And yeah, we get to it. Some days were great. More days often it went my way than not. But when I made mistakes, my God, did I pay for it. He hit so goddamn hard. But no, I didn't really think about it. It was like your job, you know? It's so strange to think that way. Hopefully that helps. But no, it's just what I did. So it was like, all right, this is what I'm doing today. Jake Billy Gates, thank you for your donation. What do you think about BJJ champ Nick Gurr? I'm not too familiar with him, brother. I don't want to lie to you and make something up, but not too familiar with him. Demon says, all good, fam. I was just talking about the grind of touring and working and being a father. Been up since 4 a.m. Got a show at 10 p.m. in New York, 3 hours away. Why did I ask for this myself? Yeah, I didn't get your question, though, dude. Send your question. I'll get to it. Omar says, I love Tai Tuivasa. Heartbreaking to see him at 0-7, but I see why they don't let him go. He has to be up when he fights. Yeah, agree. That fool Chris says, when you filmed the series, talking about Gearhead's Gone Wild, can you get Mike from Street Speed on? Your boy mentioned him when he talked about his TRX build. Mike was the first to wreck a TRX. The first is YR1. Oh, wow. Oh, I've seen some of his stuff. Yeah, Mike's cool. Yeah, he has some great builds. Yeah, good for him. Chris Baxter, what does Max do if he loses tomorrow? And also, what's the goal of Conor? The belt or just huge fights? Just huge fights. For Max, if he loses, again, that's why I'm rooting so hard for Conor, because Max, it's like he's already a legend. It's not even his weight class. You lose, okay, 155. There's huge fights for him there. Max is fine either way. East Texas, these lives have been great. Thanks, brother. 360 Sky says, just got off a 16-hour night shift and picking up my kiddos. Let's go. Yeah, those kiddos don't care if you're tired. You got to show them love, man. Chris Lamb, I love Florida and living here, but Florida sucks because we can't win giveaways like you and Cam Haynes do. I've seriously thought about moving just because it pissed me off. I'm pretty sure Florida does giveaways, bud. I'm trying to think if anybody was excluded from the giveaways. I'm pretty sure Florida... I'd have to look into it. I thought Florida was good. Drew, yep. Gotcha. Patrick, yo, Schaub, can I get a job maybe? I keep getting arrested in this shithole. I can do it all. Build, landscape, can operate anything. I'm a big fella, can run security, so Big Brown didn't dirty his hands. I love you, brother, but yeah, no, we're good here, man. We run with a tight ship. Those days of hiring people randomly are over. Adam, thank you, brother. Joey mukbangs. He can't get enough, man. Chin, would you ever take your pants off and post a mukbang eating video?
No.
What about leaving your pants on? I added the pants off thing, but would you ever do a mukbang video?
When I do vlogs, I still do eating stuff. So it's
here's my thing. I hate hearing the sound of people eating.
Yeah, people love it, but you have that phobia.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Crackstream, getting back on peptides next week. Just invest in a bulk supply. Man, Retta is like a life cheat code, especially for people that drink and eating issues. Yeah, I haven't tried Retta myself. When you say bulk supply, where'd you get it from, brother? Because you'll hear a lot of people talk shit about peptides. My thing with that is like, do you have a trustworthy source? Because a lot of it might be diluted. It's not the real deal. You got to make sure you get it from the right place. And DM me. I have some legit place you can get it from. You want to make sure you're getting real shit, man. Mikey Mukai, hype for tomorrow. Hope everyone has a great Friday. Me too, man. Jay Little, damn it, B, let Jake trick you. Jake, what did he say? Oh, funny. Yeah, that is funny. That's pretty funny, though. That's worth the trick. That's hilarious. You get it, Jen?
What happened?
That guy was like, what do you think of Nick Gurr BJJ? And I was like, I'm not familiar with him, you know? And then they're like, oh, Jake tricked you.
Oh, God. I got it. I actually Googled it, too. Thanks, dude.
That's pretty funny. That's funny, though. The harmless funny ones are fun. That's really funny. Randy Savage finally made it to a stream. Hashtag overnight life. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I get it. Crack stream, hard to stay on top because the chat is so random. Yeah, I don't mind it though. It's wherever you guys want to go, man. This is your show, not mine. Keep going down, Chin.
I slowed it down a lot, so
okay. We're going for 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got it. 13 Mood says, I'm so sick of media talking trash on Conor, saying he's not the same. He's Conor McGregor. He doesn't have to do or say nothing. He has the aura by what he has been and done. Yeah, the media is weird, man, across all lanes. It's just the media wants one thing. And then in MMA especially, they're haters, right? They don't like Conor, which is, I don't understand. It's great for their business. And they'll use his name to get the views and get the money. But then they'll sit on their high horse and be like, he's such a bad person. I'm never going to watch him fight. And it's like, every single show you've done this week is breaking down Conor McGregor. Where's that energy, you know? Yeah, media's just a bunch of bitches. It's just soft people, you know? Most of them never fought. So it's just a weird, like, you'll never hear fighters really hating on Conor. Never. It's too hard to pull off what he did, you know, so we have respect for him. But the media, they'll sit on their high horse. Like, oh, he's not a draw. Biggest gate of all time. Well, yeah, the UFC's dying. They signed a $7.7 billion deal. Well, yeah, well, that's just because what they used to do. It's like, hold on. So you think the people that own Paramount and CBS, have you heard of it, CBS? So those decision makers there, you think they looked into the business practices and the predictions of the UFC and sees it on decline and paid $7.7 billion? But again, negativity and being negative about, you know, UFC, which is a monster. I get it. Like, that gets attention. So that's why people do it. I don't get it. The Stoner says, do you think Izzy is going through the same shit Conor went through? Hard to train and get punched when you're rich. Seems like since he blew up, he started losing more. That's a double-edged sword, because since he blew up, you mean fighting tougher fights, you know? So it's like, yeah, they do get famous and they get to be champs, but they're fighting tougher fights. So it's a give and take there. I don't think he's going through the same shit Conor went through. It's a little different, but I'm sure it's similar, and he needs to navigate that. You know, that's what he's doing. Doing it a lot better than Conor, though. But also, he doesn't have the same gravity of fame as Conor. 13 Moody, on another note, what are your thoughts on Conor bringing his family? Got to be locked in. Yeah, I love it. Love it. Damien says, father 4. I'm a comedian full-time, mechanical insulator, comedy club host, touring by myself, being in it. I know I'm missing a lot. What did you miss the most when you're in the heat of the grind? You just miss out too much on actual life. You're not living, brother. You spend life at airports, comedy clubs, and I would ask yourself, it's like, what's the goal there? What's the goal? And what expense, what are you sacrificing to achieve that goal? Is your goal to be Kevin Hart? Because you're Kevin Hart, you're probably not going to have a relationship with your kiddos. I don't know how old you are, but it's like, in order to get to that level as a comedian, you know how it is. You got to grind. You got to grind. And that grind, it's very selfish. You have 4 kids. You know, if comedy's making bank and you're making really good money doing it, providing for the kids and providing a life, that's different. But if you're, you know, in your 30s grinding out on the road, you just got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And, you know, it's not a time to be selfish if you have 4 kids. That's what I would say. But again, I don't know your situation, brother, and hopefully it's going well. Crackstream, Chael was glazing Conor after his interview. How can you not? Omar says, I love that people call it phobia. I just think it's gross, man. People need to eat with their mouths closed, and I shouldn't have to hear it. I agree. It's disgusting, man. Slowfit, Eric Nixick said, Sean Strickland got stem cells on his shoulder at Ways to Well in Austin. Thought you were boys. Thought of you boys instantly. Yeah, and Nixick's coming out here next week at Ways to Well. Randy Savage says, this week there will be a lot of people who don't watch MMA at all watching because of McGregor hype. So if you had to pick 3 fights to show them to get them and fall in love with UFC, what would it be? Justin Gaethje, Elliot Topuria at the White House, number 1. Izzy versus Kelvin Gastelum. Frank Yeager, Gray Maynard, 2. Gus Finn, John Jones. Yeah, because do you see this, Chen, on social media that the weigh-in viewership was more than the White House, more than any they've ever had?
Yeah, I saw it.
When I saw it, I went, oh shit, this might beat the White House card, which is crazy. They've done a fraction of media, a fraction. And Conor, I think, has 56 million followers on Instagram. UFC has 60. That's how big this cat is. Crazy. Adam, member for 1 month. Love it, brother. Thank you, man.
$46.3.
That's insane. Will says, longtime listener, lucky enough to catch a show at the Stand Up Live in Phoenix, one of the best clubs, man. I think it's the year of the underdogs, right? Correct, Gamma Girl. Going Grounds podcast. How's Jen feeling about being live now and all of the obstacles that brings? Glad you guys have stuck together all these years. I feel like our lives are easier going live.
Yeah, but I mean, when we first started it, you could tell I was stressed.
You were stressed, yeah.
But now I have more of a hang of it, so now we're going to try to make it better from this point on. But now I have a hang of it.
But then when you leave, Chin doesn't have all this work at home anymore. He doesn't have to edit, do all this shit. So I think it's better for...
Still got to edit, dog.
On the lives?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
For assets and stuff.
Well, you got to put in...
the audio too, but yeah.
Ads.
There's just other stuff.
Yeah, it's different, though.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's easier, though.
Lighter work. Captain 420 Canada. All right, we got 10 more minutes, kids. I'll try and get through these. Captain 420 Canada, thanks for all the pods this week. I need more TFAT in my life. Yeah. Talk to Brian. Dylan, so you think if Paddy wins, he will be in conversation for the UFC title shot? No. Or does he need a couple more good wins? No, not a chance. Not a chance. .360 says, I can't believe tomorrow I'm going to watch Conor McGregor fight. And this live stream. I've been this excited since 2020. Agree, dude. Timothy Copton says,
Kong.
Oh, is that, and that's fighting
Wayne Kong. She's fighting Tracy Cortez.
That's right, against Tracy Cortez. Kong, Pinas, Granda, Costa, money line. Plus 536. That ain't bad, brother. Mike Mukai, what time tomorrow? 7:30 Central Time on the dot. East Texas timepieces. Saturday's going to work out. Golf, grill, pool fights. May just be the best days ever if Mac can pull it off. Agree. Javi says a new coach might benefit Izzy. Yeah, just a fresh start. Give him some new life. My yo. Conor first round TKO. You might be right, brother. Hope you're right. And Austin, Brendan, what would your WWE character be? I don't want any of that. I don't watch that bull. Imagine you had, yeah, not my thing, dude. That's just not my thing. I appreciate what they do. It's a tough living, but just not my thing. Joey Muckbag, so you say happy birthday to my friend Dixon. P.S. This is commenting trying to get you to say something funny if you say the name correctly. All right. That's a fun one. Scoop. Chin has to do a shot every time Rogan says something elite. Every time Rogan says elite tomorrow night.
No, can't do it. Sorry.
T Noble says, ever see Tom Segura anymore? Missed that, buddy. Not a ton. I don't see too many guys out here. Reverse Frankensteiner. I wish you were more supportive of Brian for his fires only gig. Similar to Eric in the commercial. Huh? Oh, you mean me and Brian mess around and firing the kid? What do you want me to do? Throw a fucking party? Because they paid him to host an interview at the Fighters Only? Like, Brian's been in major movies. Brian's shooting major commercials. Like, that Fighters Only gig ain't a big deal for Brian Bubba. Crackstream, I feel like competition just got harder for Izzy. These guys are just better than they were. Yeah. These guys are like, oh, they fell off. Like, they're fighting way tougher guys, and there's a blueprint out how to beat them. So it gets tough, man. Rafi, I want to be a comic. Main reason I'm not having kids, I want to be selfish. Yeah, but is it worth it, brother? That's what you got to ask yourself. It depends how old you are, too. Chris says, I'll be watching the fights at the theater Saturday. Damn, they're doing it in theaters? I didn't know that. But we'll rewatching the Big Brown Showdown Sunday at work. I never missed an episode. Thank you, brother.
Oh, on that topic real quick, because, people wanted the live chat before the stream. If we did that, then when they did a replay, it's going to show all the live chat. You have to fast forward the whole thing. So we have to decide if we want to do that for people that want to watch the replay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe that Gemma knows. I don't know. I literally don't know what the move is. Timothy, thank you for your donation, brother. Matt Brown versus Eric Silva is my dark horse for one of the best fights of all time, and was also the first ever JRE fight campaign main event. Damn. Good call, brother. Good call. Drew says there's going to be so many watch-alongs, and I'll be here on the Big Brown Breakdown with the Brownies, 5 p.m., 7:30 Central Time. Javi says, shout out to Chin for all his hard work.
Thank you.
Wyatt says, there's a lot of talk on who Conor will fight next, win or lose, but who do you want to see him fight in either scenario? Him versus Paddy would be really cool. The Graph Gorilla says, I saw a meme saying Trace Cortez already UFC's first 3-weight division champion. Brian Ortega, Paulo Costa, and Poton. Savages. You guys are savages. Scoop says, you seem checked out on Brian. No, not at all, brother. Not at all. It's more on Brian. But we've also been together so long, so we just got to figure it out. We'll figure it out. But he's doing his thing, I'm doing mine. We'll circle back around. Thomas back talking shit about Nick. Nick's not even here, brother. He hasn't been on here this entire week. Jay Little, outside of Bo Nickel, who would you want to see Izzy fight? Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to see him fight Bo Nickel either. That's a tough freaking fight, man. I don't know, man. Because you want to see him get a win, you know? Drew Casablanca, yes, Chin, let's chat before B comes. But like Chin said, but then if people watch it on the replay, it's just going to be a bunch of blank screen, right? Just the chat?
It'll just be the chat for however long that lasts, like an hour, 30 minutes.
Drew says, it's okay. Whoever watches can skip. Just put the timestamp in. Andrew, you ain't lying. We need to keep Chin off the alcohol. If he goes down, we're all screwed. Facts, dude. I don't know how to work this. I don't know how to man this ship. Ravi says, I'm 34. I think it is, man. It is what I've always wanted to do. So besides, I feel like I was put on this planet to be an uncle. Never wanted kids myself. Maybe I'm weird. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. 34, though, it's time to get going, brother. Drew says, Chin, maybe live chat 20, 30 minutes early while you guys are setting up.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's up to you, ultimately, Brian.
Mr. Offense stream, so they can skip ahead. It doesn't take much effort. Yeah. So the moves to start early so you guys can chat and then we go live?
Yeah, but like, imagine you're watching YouTube and you want to watch something. It doesn't go on right away. It's just a bunch of chat. If some people are going to be like,
I just skip ahead, dude.
Okay, yeah. If you're down with it, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Luke Thomas does it. You just skip ahead.
I don't think Luke Thomas puts the chat on before.
He does.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does. And you got to skip ahead. It just shows his logo and says starting soon.
Okay.
Papa Bear, can you think of a single favorable matchup for Conor at 170 after this fight? Michael Chandler. Patrick, do these people think you're going to back them up when they talk bad about your friends? Such weird takes from people with no idea. Referring to what, brother? Randy Savage, what's next for Strickland? In my opinion, I think you should go back making people work for a rematch, especially if they haven't defended the belt yet. It's going to be Hamzat in December. Drew says, also UFC it before they go live, and I chat, and it doesn't re-show.
Which one's that one? Also UFC.
Swim Thugga, I think Conor's fighting to show... All right, we got 2 more minutes, kids. I'm doing my best to get through these. Let's see. I think Conor is fighting to show his kids who he actually is. They've only seen negative things since they were born, and now he wants them to see how great he is. Yeah, maybe. I wonder how much they've seen, though. They're young, Captain 420 says, normal thing for live stream to start early. All right, that's what we'll do then. What, 30? Is 30 minutes early good? Papa, I'm saying current 170 years. Just seems like there's some deep waters. Yeah, but Chandler's coming to 170, so that's what I would do for him. Will, any special guests for tomorrow's stream? Nope, me and Chin. East Texas timepiece. Conor with the bald spot in the back. Are we sure? Oh, get my girls on it. Tomorrow, Big Brown Throwdown starts at 5:30 California time, 8:30 New York time. 1:30 a.m. for Ireland. 10:30 a.m. for Sydney. Good Lord.
Jeez, Ireland.
Crack stream. Thanks for the stream, bro. Had fun. Thank you, sir. Journey with Joe. Welcome to the Big Brown Club.
Yeah, they're voting 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Damn, they stopped right at 30. You guys are on it. J. Luke says start. Drew says 30 minutes is perfect. All right. That's what we'll do then. We'll start 30 minutes early for you guys. Omar, we are the special guests tomorrow. Yeah, you guys are special guests. All right, guys, tomorrow it's time. Conor's return. It's time. We're going to be live here on this exact freaking YouTube channel. Come join the club. It's the Big Brown Showdown going down tomorrow at 7:30 Central Time. So join me. We'll start with the Gable Steveson prelim. You'll watch Gable with me, Robert Whittaker, and then we'll go to the main card, and we're cooking. It's the return of the Mystic Mac. It goes down here live tomorrow, 7:30 Central Time. So I cannot wait. One more sleep, fam. One more sleep. All you in the live chat, love you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a grand old time. I'm Big Brown. I'm out.